obsessively, relentlessly at your service. To me, it means being there 24/7, rain or shine, during storms, after storms.
Being a first responder to the community, to my customers.
Being there to get the customers back on and to see the smiles on their face.
To provide the kind of reliability that we can hold our heads high about.
And we want to keep our customers safe. Safety's first around here.
And that's rewarding.
Frank, when you think Fairway, you think fresh. Is that the winning culture you've tried to create?
Penelope Pineapple, what an unbelievable produce performance. How does your team stay so fresh?
Sunkissed Orange. Is it true Fairway has offered the freshest produce in town since 1938?
What can I say? Our produce is so fresh, we're speechless.
Across Iowa, you don't have to look far to find a bank that's got your back. From just around the corner to the next town over, hundreds of neighborhood banks are going the distance to ensure your future looks brighter than ever. By providing jobs, supporting local businesses, strengthening communities, and helping your dreams become reality. Here, the life you build is backed by Iowa banks. See how banks are making a difference near you at iowabankers.com.
Living your best life means something different to everyone, especially when it comes to healthcare. That's why Mercy One offers compassionate, personalized care. We are here for you with one team of experts, providing access to the primary care and highly rated specialty care you need, easily and conveniently. So go ahead, live your best life. We're with you every step of the way. Mercy One, your best life, our one purpose.
The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to present this amazing state tournament and celebrate the accomplishments of Iowa's student athletes. To the Iowa Farm Bureau, this is more than just a sport. It's hometown pride, it's hopes and dreams, it's our future leaders, it's a reason to do more and be more. And it's that farm strong spirit that can only be found in Iowa. Congratulations to the student athletes and coaches on a successful year, and remember, today's successes are just the beginning of tomorrow's achievements.
A pleasant good morning to you. It is the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Basketball Tournament, the 2023 style here. This is the digital network presented by Mid-American Energy and the tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau. It is time to get things started. Game number one here of this version features the Southeast Polk Rams and the Johnston Dragons, and they'll start things off game one of a big week of tournament. I'm Paul Yeager alongside Andy Pollock, and we'll get you going. The warm-up act, right?
Paul, this is one of those tournaments, we were talking about it before. I'm not sure there's a single game that you could consider an upset if one team were to beat the other. There's some favorites, what would be considered favorites, but you look around 1 through 8, absolutely stacked tournament. It was stacked 1 through about 13 this year in Class 5A. Now you can then set down to 8. This is going to be a really fun tournament.
5A is an interesting bird for the sake of the way the conference alignment changed. We open with a conference game between these two teams that have already faced twice this season, once just 17 days ago.
Johnston has been kind of the favorite, right, throughout the course of the entire season. They come at you with a ton of star power. They have got the dudes all throughout the course of the year. They're 22-1. They've got one loss on the year. It was to Dowling, another team in this state tournament that we'll see later this afternoon. They beat Sioux City East to make their way to state here. They score a lot. They scored a really good clip. They've got some really good scorers. We talk about Eiley Tonke, 15.5 points a game, and they shoot the ball really, really well as well. Aaliyah Riley, another one of those double-figure scorers. They've got 4 girls that average in double figures, as well as a couple others that are up around 9 points a game. So just an incredibly balanced Johnston squad.
And then for Southeast Polk, they're 15-7. They beat Iowa City Liberty to get here. They shoot the ball well from the outside. Brooklyn, Daly, and Stella Charleston. It's the development of Charleston that has really helped this team, especially when Daly went out. She had an appendectomy just a few weeks ago. She missed a couple of games. She's back. You knew that Daly in her senior year, she's headed to Drake. She's had a lot of eyeballs on her. And that's just before she left the house from her mom as the head coach. Special relationship tonight plays out in front of us here this morning.
The parent-coach or the parent-player relationship, the coach-player relationship when it's one of your own kids is something very special. Something certainly that they've dreamed about having this moment, right, for a long time. So very cool to be able to see them out on the court here today. The other player we talked about, Stella Charleston, will be going to play at North down the road as well. And we're going to be talking all day long about all these college signees. Iowa girls high school basketball is at a really good spot right now. There's a lot of future, not only Division I, but Division II, Division III, NAIA. There's a lot of talent here at this tournament.
You never know what player is going to go on to the college level, hit a game-winning shot at the buzzer, and be on a national radio show the next day. We're talking about Caitlin Clark, and we've seen her on this. Who's the next Caitlin Clark? We'll find out. We'll take a break. We'll get you ready for a little more detailed look between these two teams. It's Johnston and Southeast Polk coming your way from Wells Fargo Arena.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. That old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe it. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
When you choose Delta Dental of Iowa, you set a chain of good in motion. Because we invest in your community. So whether you get your plan at work or purchase it through us, you get more than great dental and vision insurance. You make a difference for others. Choose Delta Dental for your smile, for your health, and for your community.
Moments away from game number one, the 5A quarterfinal at Wells Fargo Arena on the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Digital Network, presented by Mid-American Energy. We now need to tell you about the Seeds for Success, which are presented to you by Kruger Seeds. So Andy, let's start with Southeast Polk. What do you see for the Rams as key for them today?
Well, Johnston's a team that's going to go on a run. There's a lot of teams that have played Johnston close throughout the course of the season, but some point in the second half, Johnston's going to go on a run. If Southeast Polk can limit that run and keep them from going on one of those big scoring runs that they go on, they've got a chance in this ballgame.
And for the Dragons, I mean, this is a team that has been in the state title game a lot. They almost have a regular penned-in name, but it's going to be tough to get through on this first one. What do they have?
They're going to want to identify the shooters for Southeast Polk, and that's talking about Daly and Charleston. Find them, find Alyssa Bartlett, identify those shooters. You mentioned it, they're a really good three-point shooting team. Identify them early in the possession, don't let them get open. And then the big one here is it's the first state jitters, right? This is the first game of the entire state tournament. There's a huge crowd on hand, a couple schools that really support their teams. We're going to see that all throughout the course of the day. Several local teams playing, going to bring some huge crowds. There's going to be people out here watching basketball that haven't seen games all year. The noise is different, the backdrop's different. Who can overcome that? Johnston, it's first day jitters being here for the first time in a few weeks being here, but you mentioned beforehand, this is the 10th game that some of these girls for Johnston have played at the Iowa Girls High School State Tournament. That's a big advantage.
That's a huge advantage when you think about it. 3 per year, and you have both Hampton and Nelk, who are very much. They know every turn in this building. That is a look at our Seeds for Success, which are brought to you by Kruger Seeds. The next time you're in need of corn or soybean seed, give your local Kruger Seeds dealer a call. Kruger Seeds, first-class seed, first-name service. Learn more at KrugerSeed.com. The opening tip-off, the starting lineups, the national anthem, the pageantry of the Girls State Tournament comes your way next here from Wells Fargo Arena.
Obsessively, relentlessly at your service. To me, it means being there 24/7, rain or shine, during storms, after storms.
Being a first responder to the community, to my customers.
Being there to get the customers back on and to see the smiles on their face.
To provide the kind of reliability that we can hold our heads high about.
And we want to keep our customers safe. Safety's first around here.
And that's rewarding.
Game number 1 at Wells Fargo Arena means we have a lot to get through. The anthem, the introductions, as well as telling you who's playing. Let's go courtside to Mr. Fitzpatrick.
And welcome to today's 2023 Girls State Basketball 5A quarterfinal matchup featuring the visiting team, the Southeast Polk Rams, and the home team, the Johnston Dragons. Fans, tradition is an important part of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union's storied history. Because our past is an integral part of what we do today, we ask that everyone in attendance please join in a round of applause to show our appreciation to all the women who have participated in high school athletics in Iowa. Once an Iowa girl, always an Iowa girl. Thank you. Fans, at this time, the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and the Iowa Farm Bureau would like to recognize the outstanding sportsmanship shown by Southeast Polk High School and Johnston High School. In recognition of the importance of good sportsmanship, each state qualifying school was asked to nominate a spectator who represents their school and community in a sportsmanlike manner. Claire Pellet, a member of the IGHSAU Student Athlete Advisory Committee, will present each nominee with a certificate of recognition and a $250 check payable to their school scholarship fund. Please join us in honoring these individuals whose decorum and respect for others serves as a model for all spectators attending interscholastic events. From Southeast Polk, Teresa Brandt. And from Johnston, Randy Sparks. The Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union promotes good sportsmanship by participants, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants, officials, and spectators in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, sexist, or abusive comments, or intimidating actions directed at officials, participants, coaches, team representatives, or event personnel will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal. We thank you for your cooperation and invite you to enjoy the game. Basketball fans, it's now time to introduce the players in today's 5A quarterfinal matchup. First of all, here are your non-starters for the Southeast Polk Rams. Number 2, Zoe Hins. Number 12, Anna Van Kooten. Number 14, Jaden Woods. Number 20, Maddie Maines. Number 30, Ashlyn Williams. Number 32, Margaret Johnson. Number 34, Olivia Tui. Number 40, Morgan Reese. And number 44, Kylie Selesky. Your assistant coaches, Emily Zalik, James Repp, Chuck Engel, and Joel Van Kooten. And now let's meet your non-starters for the Johnston Dragons. Number 2, Isabella Balsley. Number 4, Sydney Coleman. Number 12, Cameron Gillick. Number 14, Cortland Jackson. Number 20, Sydney Hodges. Number 23, Julia Kinnitz. Number 32, Avery Ryan. Number 34, Ava Helming. Number 40, JC Blanchard. Number 42, Ruby Pullman. And number 44, Madison Hauser. Your assistant coaches, Mark Hine, Brad Buchan, Jenny Cook, Christine Wolford, and Kinsey Gillick. And now, here are your starters for this 5A quarterfinal. For Southeast Polk, at guard, a senior, number 4, JC Mitchell. For Johnston, at guard, a freshman, number 10, Jenica Lewis. For the Rams, at guard, a sophomore, number 10, Alyssa Bartlett. For the Dragons, at guard, a junior, number 22, Aaliyah Riley. For Southeast Polk, at forward, a senior, number 22, Brooklyn Daly. For Johnston, at guard, a senior, number 24, Molly Nelk. For the Rams, at guard, a senior, number 24, Stella Charleston. For the Dragons, at guard, a junior, number 30, Eileen Tenke. And for Southeast Polk, at forward, a junior, number 42, Eva Solsek. For Johnston, at forward, a senior, number 33, Emma Hampton. Head coach for the Rams, Tracy Daly. For the Dragons, Chad Gillick. Now, ladies and gentlemen, turn your attention to the area in front of the scorer's bench. Our officials for today's 5A quarterfinal as assigned by the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union: William Dotson, Chris Lynch, and Christopher Thomas. Fans, at this time, we ask that you please join us, direct your attention to the flag as we honor America and those around the world to protect our freedom with the singing of our national anthem today, performed by Faith Hensel of Cedar Falls. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watch, were so gallantly streaming.
Nice job, Faith. Thank you. All right, who's ready for state tournament basketball?
Before we begin today's game, we'd like to once again thank Iowa Farm Bureau, proud title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, for their support. The Iowa Farm Bureau has an office located in each county across Iowa, and we'd like to thank the offices listed on your screen for their support of two teams playing in our game today. Thank you, Iowa Farm Bureau, for supporting the IGHSAU and the IOWA Girl. All right, Andy Pollock, as we get ready to go, this is when it all matters. It all comes down. There's a look at your starting lineup. Mitchell, Bartlett, Daly, Charleston, and Solseth for the Rams, and then for the Dragons, they will counter with Lewis, Riley, Nelk, Tanky, and Hampton. Johnston in white, Southeast Polk in black. We're ready to go. Ready?
I'm ready.
There's no turning back now.
No, we got our coffee. Let's go.
We're ready for the tip-off.
Hampton and Solseth
Here we go.
Hampton and Daly at center court tip it all the way back into the Southeast Polk side of the court, and the Rams will retain possession as they go from right to left here on your screen on the floor. Game number 1 on this Monday morning of the Girls State Basketball Tournament. Daly inside, the post move, kicks it back out. Mitchell wide open, 3! Good shooting, starts early.
Double team down there on Daly, open it up, wide open down low.
And down low is a great defensive play by Polk. Again, these two teams familiar with each other, and it shows early in their play. Hampton at the top of the key. Now Riley on Mitchell. Doubles down. Hampton has it swatted away by Daly. Gets it back, turn around in the lane, good.
Nice moving basket.
Southeast Polk does not appear they're going to double in the post early on, which is what Johnston was doing to them. That allows them to keep an eye on the shooters.
Daly fakes, drives, hard off the glass, clearing it is Eiley Tanky, and she'll push the tempo. Jenica Lewis, didn't talk too much about her in the open, but the freshman with an incredible move, an even better pass for 2.
Jenica Lewis, a freshman with a lot of Division I interest so far. They're going to be calling her name a lot today. She makes a lot of moves like that.
Hampton denies Daly, goes up the other way and lays it in. Hampton now with 6.
Emma Hampton.
All layups for Hampton, that time creating it on her own.
6-3, Johnston in front of Polk early on. Fast pace so far.
Hampton averages just under 10 points a game, and like you mentioned, already has 6.
Solseth thought about the 3. Mitchell, guarded by Nelk. Sets the screen for Daly. 3, no good. Rebound, Lewis. Riley pushes it. 3 on the way. Off the back iron by Tanky. Rebound by Nelk. Here comes Tanky for 2.
No one identified Tanky after they got the offensive rebound. Another easy layup for the Dragons.
8-0 run for Johnston. Daly in the lane, travels. Trying to draw that contact, Andy. Didn't come, drug her foot.
One of those, if she continues to go up all the way through on the shot, she'll be fine. But once she stopped, didn't make a move with it, that's when they dinged her for the walk.
Lewis dribbles it up the court. Tanky. Hampton, now Riley. To a cutting Tanky, could kind of see where that was coming, and Southeast Polk denied.
Good recognition there by Bartlett. She came off her man. Girl, I should say
Player,
right now. Player
defender.
right now, yes.
Laura will sometimes say man, so you're okay when Laura Leonard does it. Into Riley, now quickly. Back Hampton, drop step right, turn around left. Good.
What a start for Emma Hampton.
Hinsey, who's into the ball game, launches the 3 and hits. So 2 threes for the Rams as they're only scoring, but they cut the lead to 4, 10-6.
And Hinsey, a very good three-point shooter, shoots almost 50%. No one picked her up there. Kind of a secondary break type look. No one picked her up.
She replaced J.C. Mitchell, who had hit the other bucket. Lewis will go to the line for the free throw. First one is good from the 79% free throw shooter. Back into the ball game, Brooklyn Daly. And reminder that all substitutions today are brought to you by INS. I'll get it right here, guys. Second free throw is made. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. Top of the key three, launched, no, by Charleston. Loose board, Daly tips it, but she was on the line. It'll be a turnover and back to Johnston.
Jenica Lewis for Johnston, one of those players that we heard a lot about before she ever even played a game for Coach Jillick. 8th grader, lot has been said about her, and that's a name we're going to hear for a lot of years.
So, Andy, you have seen her play a couple of times during this season as Riley drives and tries to dish, and Hinsey knocked it away. Is Lewis as good as advertised?
She is. She's so smooth, but also explosive. A great combination of the two. Can create her own, but also a great shooter.
Hinsey denies the pass. Great defensive effort there.
Numbers here for Southeast Polk.
Cutting, now kicking. Hinsey for three. That's off the front of the iron. Riley tips it around right into the hands of Bartlett. Three on the way. Good! Stella Charleston. Timeout, Johnston. All 9 of Southeast Polk's points have come via the three. Hey fans, Central College has you covered with career building programs. And with tuition less than $20,000 a year and tons of scholarships, it's the best decision ever. Apply today at central.edu. It's Johnston, Andy, that went on an 8-0 run, and Southeast Polk did not call timeout. Polk, 6-0 run, now 6-2 run. There's a couple free throws in there. They call the timeout. Why?
And what you're seeing is a lot of good open looks for Southeast Polk right now, and it really comes off of kind of scramble situations, I guess. The best thing that you notice here, it comes after an offensive rebound, ball gets rotated around, wide open look out there for Charleston.
Ball pulled up by Balsley, who's into the ball game. And it goes off of Johnston. It'll go back to Southeast Polk.
Really trying to feed that post right now for Johnston.
Dragons by 4 with 4 minutes to play in this first quarter. Great action so far. Charleston cuts, catches, shoots, misses. Rebound, Lewis. Great executed play, just couldn't get the bucket to fall. Balsley was open. Lost the handle, but the Dragons will keep it.
Both teams really having to extend their defenses out right now to cover some really good three-point shooters. Really feel like that's going to open up some opportunities for both. Already Johnston has taken advantage of that. Might be some opportunities for Southeast Polk here at some point too.
Dragons finally get it in to Tanky. Lewis, way out, three. Front of the iron, no good. Hustling for it is, of course, Brooklyn Daly, and it's going to be a held ball. It'll stay with Johnston.
Might be a little DNA left on the court with that one. You heard Brooklyn Daly just go that screeching slide across the court.
She'll do anything to win. Good deny by Mitchell there to keep it from getting in the hands of Riley.
Since the first 2 minutes, or about 90 seconds actually, Southeast Polk's been a lot more disruptive, not necessarily coming away with steals, but really taking Johnston out of the offensive flow, getting a lot of hands, feet on the balls offensively.
Hinsey and Solseth come back in for Southeast Polk, and that's a substitution, which are brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. Up ahead goes Southeast Polk. Bartlett lost control, so it can't be a travel when you don't have possession, but it goes off of her, so which means it'll go back to Johnston.
And a couple times Southeast Polk, as they hustle after the ball, find themselves standing out of bounds, and the ball hits them when they're out of bounds. So again, the ball goes back to Johnston.
3:13 to play. Lewis, step up three. No good. Balsley in a tough lane. Now Riley for three, no good. Tanky goes up over the top and is fouled on her way up to the basket.
Well, right there's a really good job by Ashlyn Williams to try to box out Tanky, but Tanky so much taller, just able to reach over the top, no contact made, keeps the possession alive. A reason the future Iowa State basketball player is all the offers that she had.
Tanky misses the first. She's normally an 88% free throw shooter. Tanky committed after her freshman year to Coach Bill Fennelly at Iowa State. And, just watching her play a lot, she reminds me, which is maybe a little unfair about what I'm about to say, she reminds me of one of the Jones girls.
I was about to say the exact same thing. Even the way her body moves, just always on the floor. She's got the knee pads on because she's going to be diving after everything she has the opportunity to. And that's what makes somebody a Division I basketball recruit, is when they not only have the athletic ability, but then they also have without getting too much hyperbole here, they have got the heart as well. They're the ones that are going to go after everything there. That's the combination that the high-level college coaches are looking for.
You have to love the game to play at that next level.
The game and the competition that comes along with it.
And the frustrations if some things don't go your way because you're no longer the best on your team. You have to be on a team, and that is a tough transition some players make, and some make it rather easily. As now, for the first time, we have the shot clock under 10. Cutting Balsley. She's fouled by, I think, Solseth there.
Solseth, it's a tough word to say this early in the morning. Solseth coming in from the side, kind of got caught in a bad position, trying to cut her off on the help. Got dinged for her first foul.
Free throw is missed. Back into the game is Charleston. There's a look at that, the replay there on the drive. Andy, do you get the sense these two teams know each other, the way they're playing?
We talk about they're in the same conference, so they play each other there, but if you've ever been in a gym in the fall in Iowa, it's the same teams are playing each other every weekend, as well as they warm up in all these fall leagues. They play together in summer leagues. So, all these girls know each other. Several probably even play on the same clubs together.
Glenn Daly now driving is Bartlett, and she is fouled at the top of the key.
Probably would have been a no call if Bartlett doesn't go to, if Bartlett doesn't go to the ground. There was just enough contact there between her and Aaliyah Riley that they had to call something. If she doesn't go to the ground, I think they let it play on. So you notice kind of a late whistle that came with it as well.
Inbound to Daly. Now J.C. Mitchell chases it down on Balsley. Great defense way up top there. So is Kinnitz, who's into the ball game, guarding Charleston. Crossover. Now back to Daly. Ball's loose. Who has it? Tanky, of course. Picks it up. Tanky caught on the crossover herself. Turns it over.
Great hustle back on defense by Solseth.
14-9 with 90 seconds to play first quarter. Brooklyn Daly, right wing, turnaround three, no! Rebound on the putback, no good. Is Bartlett. But the Rams get it. Bartlett cuts to the basket, misses the layup. Little bit of contact, but they play on. Try to dish it down below.
I feel like Johnston right now, maybe just, it's tough to say this with a lead right now, but they feel like maybe they're, not that lead. That's not the lead right now. It's not 70. There we go. Okay. You feel like maybe just playing a little bit too quick right now as they get in transition. And Southeast Polk, to their credit, has been hustling back and really limited those windows of opportunity for the Dragons.
Rams with it. Mitchell. Now Williams. Solseth. Everybody getting a chance to touch it as Daly looks to the left. Now drives that way. Puts the shot up. Good straight up D by Hampton. Up ahead, Balsley. Nice move to clear the defenders through to lay it up.
A version of the Euro step that she used to get around the defender.
And now we have a call. We have a tied up ball right here in front of us. Solseth and Hampton. Coach Tracy Daly just asked one word, jump, and then gave the Fran McCaffrey stare for a little bit, right? That's why I was chuckling. Is that why you were chuckling?
I was chuckling because she was all the way out to the circle. No one else had gone to get the ball, and she said, well, ball's going to be out here. I'm going to go get it. It's a great opportunity. Never pass up an opportunity to have a word with the official, whether positive or negative. Daly drives, charge.
Daly actually was going to be in really good shape, and then sliding in there, Lewis. Daly just drops her shoulder just a little bit right before contact. Otherwise, I think she probably gets the end one.
Back into the ball game, Aaliyah Riley. Going out is Jalea Kinnitz. Riley, she's also played, as a junior. This is her 7th tournament game.
She's the second leading scorer on this Johnston squad and really does a nice job running the show.
Under 10 in the quarter. Now Tanky inside Hampton, who had her defender. 3 seconds, 2. Turn around in the lane, no good. At the buzzer, back up, won't count. Close, but not quite. Johnston, a good first quarter, leads 16-9 here at the state tournament from Wells Fargo Arena. You're watching the Digital Network, presented by Mid-American Energy.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. That old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
Van Central College has you covered with career-building programs and with tuition less than $20,000 a year and tons of scholarships. It's the best decision ever. Apply today at central.edu. Quarter 2 begins in Class 5A. Johnston leads Southeast Polk 16-9. This is a little more reminiscent of the first time these two teams played, which was January 3rd on this exact same court. That was a Southeast Polk home game that got moved to here. Tanky's 3 hits the front iron and misses. And if you cannot play a game as a visitor at Southeast Polk, that's a victory in itself. That is an extremely tough place to play, just to the east of where we are sitting in Pleasant Hill. Great place to watch a game. Mitchell drives. Shot is blocked by Lewis. Nelk dribbles down on Mitchell. Pulls up at 15 feet, gets some help from Tanky. Now Riley into the lane. Tries to get it to Hampton. Solseth, good sag defense.
It was Bartlett's defense at the beginning of the possession that slowed everything up. It took a while. There's numbers after the big swat on the other end, but Bartlett played really good defense. Slowed Johnston up, allowed him to get into the half-court set, and they weren't able to capitalize.
Daly drives in on Hampton. Maybe gets away with an extra step, but she's fouled in the basket.
Maybe a couple times that she got away with an extra step, one at the very top of the key and then another as she went in. Probably some contact first. Well, we talked about how well these teams know each other for the amount of times that not only they play against each other in this, but if you got a multi-sport athletes, they play each other in a lot of different things. See each other. We're in a small, as Polk County gets bigger, it's still a small community. Everybody knows everybody. And a couple teams from here, they see each other at a lot of stuff. Not only the players know each other, though, these officials get to know the players very well. This is a local crew tonight. You see them at a lot of games.
Riley, nice move to the rack.
You notice it in between the timeouts, just the coaches and the officials having a nice talk.
Solseth's 3 is no good. Riley rips it away, and instead of it being tied up, Mitchell, I think, is going to be called for the push. Yeah, and that makes it fun. And also, I don't care what we do, just as long as we beat that team. It's still that rivalry. I think of your alma mater. They're going to have to come all the way down here Dyke New Hartford playing Appleton Parkersburg.
Which my alma mater is Appleton Parkersburg.
Correct. I don't want to say
Hartford,
yeah. Not that you don't respect the people at DNH, or did I say you do respect or you don't respect them? Riley's three, no good. Tanky, I think it went off of her hand. It did. She had the good possession, but Daly able to tip it off of Tanky. (18-9), biggest lead of the game for the Dragons. Here, 6 minutes to go.
Seen Johnston using their man-to-man defense pretty much exclusively. Just identifying where the shooters are.
Daly gets by Hampton, kicks it. The shot by Bartlett is missed, and Johnston up ahead. Nelk right behind the defense. Great vision there, I have to say, by Lewis, Andy. Timeout on the court by Southeast Polk on this run now. It's an 11-point lead.
We talked about in the pregame about limiting the runs that Southeast Polk can go on with as good of athletes, that Johnston can go on with as good of athletes as they have, with as good as they are at sharing the ball, with as balanced as they are. So far, 2 big runs for Johnston in this game. We've got the run right now. We had the run that start the game for them, an 8-0 run that they went on right after Southeast Polk hit the 3-point shot. So not a positive so far for Southeast Polk.
Coach Tracy Daly told us late last week, she says, hey, we have to contain on defense and we can't give up easy layups. That part of the game plan's been a little bit omitted so far by the Rams.
One of the other things to think about is you play on a 94-foot court. Not everybody, well, actually nobody has a 94-foot court in high school right now, so that's another advantage to Johnston. You get out here, it flexes their athleticism a little bit more, and you can see that right now as they get up and down the floor a little bit quicker, spreads things out for them with more space.
3 buried by Zoe Hinsey.
Couple there off the bench for Hinsey.
The 3-point line is still the same on this court.
And the hoop is still 10 foot tall.
Nelk swings it now to Tanky. Hampton cuts in on Solseth. Drop step, left, fade away. What great touch.
Double digits now for Emma Hampton. And she's the 4th leading scorer, not in this game, but on the season for the Dragons.
Isn't that something to think when you average 10? She's at her average already. I think a coach will tell you, we don't care who scores as long as we score.
You see it so much at the state tournament, though. All these coaches, especially, again, when they know each other so well, they're really good about taking out the leading scorers for each team and the best shooters. And you see it time and time again where one of the other scorers can pop up and show what they can do. And today, that's been Emma Hampton.
I didn't realize it, and you started saying scores, top scores. Daly, that was her first point. That's her second point of the game. And we've already played a quarter and almost a half of this second.
Again, just really good at taking out the top scorers each time.
Oh, Lewis, nice move. No good. Riley comes out of nowhere, fights it away, and she is fouled before the shot.
Hinsey again thought she had her tied up, but ended up grabbing onto an arm there just a little bit.
Ooh, watching that replay, looked pretty tight. Just love the competition. These players just have so much invested in the action. They know that every play adds up.
Yeah, Lewis isolated.
Still that long 3. Maybe that freshman doesn't realize that second stripe doesn't matter. I don't think that's the issue. Mitchell tried to get rid of it. You could telegraph where that was headed to Williams here. Knocked out of bounds. It'll still be Southeast Polk basketball. Mitchell tied up, and that's going to be a foul on Balsley.
Again, one of those situations where there's a lot of ball, but just enough arm to call the foul.
Balsley called a great defender by Coach Gillick.
That is 6. Excuse me, just 4 team fouls right now on Johnston. Southeast Polk with 6.
Charleston has it knocked away by Lewis, who then keeps composure, finds Balsley cutting on the right side, and it holds on the rim long enough to fall down now 5 for Isabella.
I look across and see a little smirk on the face of Coach Brian Gillick right now because that was a high quality play by his freshman Jenica Lewis, not only to get the steal, but then the pass that goes across the court. It's down the court but crosses the lane. It's such a high quality pass. Wow.
Good to see Coach Gillick in now pink shoes in addition to his pink top that has the Johnston J on it.
He has got quite the program rolling at Johnston right now.
Mitchell clears away, shoots the 3. No. Boy, a whole lot of contact going on there with Kinnitz and Williams. Johnston comes away with it. Riley just drives the way. Are you kidding me?
Wow, at about 8 feet away from the basket, that crossover, incredible.
Riley has the blow-away speed, but she wasn't quite able to get back on defense there, as she's going to be whistled for the foul.
It's that ability to accelerate while on the dribble.
Let's watch this. This is the foul we just
here,
saw.
yep.
Sorry.
The ability to accelerate off the dribble, you make that defense pause just a split second, then you can go from 0 to 60 in a snap.
Can you teach speed like that? Is the free throw is good by Bartlett?
I'm not sure you can teach it. You can work on it on the offseason, but that's not something that you all of a sudden, it's not something that you can do very quickly that you can work on. A lot of that comes naturally.
J.C. Blanchard into the game for the Dragons as the second free throw is hit by Bartlett. She now has 2.
I say it comes naturally, but man, there's a lot of these Johnston players that can do it. And they've got some 8th graders coming up that can do it as well. Very talented squad and will be for years to come.
Interior pass taken away by Daly. She gets it up to Van Kooten, who waits for Daly. Let's see what Brooklyn does here. She's waiting for help, or she's going to try to do some things on her own. After the cut through, Daly, great jump out defense by Tanky.
A couple future Division I players guarding each other right now.
Daly gets the screen, misses the shot. And she'll hear about that from the Hawaiian-clad faithful from Johnston.
I thought Tanky had blocked that one, but no argument from anybody else.
You know, the youth programs that you're referring to, Andy, when you say the 8th grade, I think Coach Gillick, every time you talk to him, is like, yeah, I got another 8th grader coming.
Yeah.
I got another 8th grader coming.
They're there. I've watched them play. They're there.
I mean, first we'd heard about Riley. Then it was Lewis. It's just
Tanky. I remember hearing about Tanky.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, we've seen Johnson here a lot at the state tournament. Lewis, 10 on the shot clock. Drives down and then has to kick, but before the shot, travel by Blanchard. You know, it has been Johnston. They have had their last 4 years, they've been 22-1, 26-0, 18-2, 24-2. That's a 90-5 mark over 4 years. This is their 9th straight state tournament appearance. That would be considered a dynasty, and before the shot, that's a carry.
Looked like that ball accelerated off the wood. Took a very high hop.
Turnover. Back to Johnston. Nelk, who we haven't heard too much from. Tanky puts the move on Daly. Gets past her. Just the floater.
They're so good at going one-on-one. And then you see them share the ball when they need to. That's where it all starts, though, the fundamentals, being able to play one-on-one basketball.
Bartlett's shot is blocked by Lewis, who didn't even look like she put any effort into it.
The incredibly physical game right now, definitely in favor of Johnston. Made it very tough for Southeast Polk to finish at the rim.
Daly now, as we're under 2 minutes to play. Shot clock at 10. Daly looks for Mitchell. 5. Daly backs down her defender, throws it up. And with 4 on the clock, she is fouled. And again, hits the deck pretty hard.
Well, Kinnett's coming over. She's going to get whistled for the foul. She slid over. I think she ended up taking an elbow to the ribs. She's in a little pain right here. but she was right there anticipating the move. I mean, you can't get much better defense than that. Just end up making two, I should say, not solid enough contact, not enough way to get a offensive foul called.
There's a look at Tracy Daly on the sideline with her assistant coaching staff, which is the core of it. Nice put up by Solseth on the miss as Daly goes 0-0 on those two free throws. Mitchell launches for three and hits. That's a huge shot with under 90 seconds before half.
4-point possession there for Southeast Polk.
Lewis, what a move. Throws it up and a block foul called, I think, on Solseth.
What I love about Lewis, if we get a chance to see the replay, you'll see her go by. Oh, this is back to Southeast Polk.
This is Mitchell's
man,
three.
She's a long ways out there. Didn't realize we were
just like
shielded
her sister.
A little bit here. Yeah,
she can hit those threes.
But you see Lewis, one thing that she's really good at is she goes in the lane, does not allow solid contact, so you can't call the offensive foul. She accelerates off the dribble and then able to get off to the side.
Anna Van
foul called on defense.
Anna Van Kooten back in for Southeast Polk. And that's not one of those taught skills. That's just, I've played a lot of basketball and I know how to make things work.
A feel for the game.
5 points now for Lewis. Lead back to double digits in 10. Daly takes a step, shoots it, scores it. 4 for Brooklyn.
One of the few open looks Brooklyn Daly's got today.
Lewis now inside to Blanchard, who hits the turnaround.
That inside post play of Southeast Polk has been so good when you look at the points in the paint.
Daly pulls up her dribble. Nice backdoor move. Charleston around the right side scores. Bartlett.
That's a risk of the face guard defending.
Lewis pulls up. Now Tanky pointing out with the left hand. Dribble loses the handle of it. Coach Gillick told to get back into his box. The officials not wanting to call a technical, but communicate with these coaches as we're now 8 seconds on the clock. Tanky, 3, good. 5 seconds. Bartlett, 3 seconds, 2, kicks it. Shot at the buzzer, count if it goes, but no clean look by Charleston. And that's how we end the first half. The Johnston Dragons lead 34-23, an 11-point lead. Very good quarter for the Dragons, Andy.
They just get up and down the floor so well. You have to play, you have to defend them 94 feet, and you can never let up, because when you do just like that, they'll accelerate off the dribble. They've been so good about getting to the hoop, and then right before the break, Tanky drops in a three-point shot. That's why they're the #1 team, or have been the #1 team for a bulk of the year in the state of Iowa.
All right, we're going to take a break and have an interview from the Iowa Farm Bureau when we return to action here at Wells Fargo Arena. This is the state tournament presented by Mid-American Energy.
Obsessively, relentlessly at your service. To me, it means being there 24/7, rain or shine, during storms, after storms.
Being a first responder to the community, to my customers.
Being there to get the customers back on and to see the smiles on their face.
To provide the kind of reliability that we can hold our heads high about.
And we want to keep our customers safe. Safety's first around here.
And that's rewarding.
Slavy's the place for you!
The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to present this amazing state tournament and celebrate the accomplishments of Iowa's student athletes. To the Iowa Farm Bureau, this is more than just a sport. It's hometown pride, It's hopes and dreams. It's our future leaders. It's a reason to do more and be more. And it's that farm strong spirit that can only be found in Iowa. Congratulations to the student athletes and coaches on a successful year. And remember, today's successes are just the beginning of tomorrow's achievements.
There's a look at the North Scott dance team as they entertain here at half, and then up next it will be the Davenport Assumption hip-hop group. But earlier this week, our title sponsor, the Iowa Farm Bureau, we'd like to thank them for their support of the state basketball tournament. We had a chance from the union to speak with Iowa Farm Bureau President Brent Johnston to learn more about Iowa Farm Bureau's support of the IGHSAU and the student athletes across the state.
Thanks for joining us for the 2023 Girls State Basketball Tournament. I'm Erin Kirtley with the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. We hope you're enjoying all the competitive play that you're seeing here today. We're so thankful for those who support us and help us put on such great events, none of which are more important than our longtime partner, Iowa Farm Bureau, our proud title sponsor. Here with me today is Brent Johnston, President of the Iowa Farm Bureau. Thanks for joining us, Brent.
Thanks.
So we want to tell the viewers about the Iowa Farm Bureau and the support that you provide the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Why does the Iowa Farm Bureau invest in support in the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and all of our tournament games?
The Iowa Farm Bureau has been the title sponsor for the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union for 18 years. We're thrilled to once again be a part of the state girls basketball tournament. But to us, it's so much more than just a basketball tournament. The athletes competing here today are among the nation's best and brightest student athletes who have a great work ethic and understand what it means to work as a team. We share the same values. Through hard work, our farmers are among the nation's best, not only in corn, hog, egg, and ethanol production, but also lead the nation in conservation. That's a lot to celebrate. And our partnership with the Girls Union gives us the opportunity to honor both.
So your support for youth and education goes beyond the IGHSAU. What other support does Iowa Farm Bureau provide Iowa's youth?
Farm Bureau celebrates Iowa's youth in many different ways. Number one, Iowa Farm Bureau, we give our students across the state nearly $500,000 in scholarships every single year. And through our teacher supplement program, we've given teachers over $450,000 in supplies and money so that they can properly have their classrooms put together for their students. In conjunction with the Girls Union and the Boys Athletic Association, we're proud to sponsor the concussion insurance. You know, there's only 7 states that even offer that. And for the 4th year running, we provide that for those student athletes at no cost to their families so that they continue to compete at a high level. And most recently, we're really excited to announce that we've given the FFA Foundation $1 million so that they can support their local chapters and ag education across this entire state so that they know what the future of agriculture means to everyday Iowans.
The student athletes participating this year are taking home some pretty neat souvenirs from this tournament. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, one of our favorite programs is actually the Signature Ball program. And it's a great opportunity that every student competing here today gets to have one of those signature balls so that they can have their teammates, their coaches, and mentors sign this ball so that they can carry this memory forward for them long into the future.
Well, thanks again to our proud title sponsor, Farm Bureau, and for Brent for being with us today.
Yep.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
When you choose Delta Dental of Iowa, you set a chain of good in motion because we invest in your community. So whether you get your plan at work or purchase it through us, you get more than great dental and vision insurance. You make a difference for others. Choose Delta Dental for your smile, for your health, and for your community.
All right, Frank, the store is yours. See you Monday.
What do you think he does in there? Think it's risky? I forgot my phone. And now you know what happens on Sundays.
Fans, the official state tournament merchandise is now available online. Time to get your smartphones out. Just scan the QR code on your screen now or visit IGHSAU.org to browse and customize your merchandise to match your style. Long sleeve, short sleeve, any sleeve you want to sleeve. Halftime here at this 5A quarterfinal. Johnston leads Southeast Polk 34-23. Here's how they did it. Let's start with Johnston as we'll go down the scoring. First for the starters, Jenica Lewis has 3, Aaliyah Riley with 4, 2 for Molly Nelk, 8 for Ollie Tanky, 10 for Emma Hampton, 5 for Balsley off the bench, 2 for Blanchard. The only one not to score is Kinnitz in her 7 minutes of action. That's a total of 34. Rebounds are 18. Johnson getting it done on the boards, 18-9 for Southeast Polk, which has 6 from J.C. Mitchell, 4 from Bartlett, 4 from Daly, 3 from Charleston, 6 from Hinsey, and no other bench points than Hinsey there for a total of 23. Andy Pollock, as you look at those stats, they're even at 8 turnovers apiece, but really it's the rebounds. And if you look at shooting from the field, it's 29% for Southeast Polk from the field, but they're shooting 39% from the field, whereas Johnson a blistering 61% from the field. That's a huge difference.
A huge difference. And when you look at the overall rebounds, we mentioned they're doubled up 18-9, but both teams have 6 offensive rebounds. So both teams have had some opportunities, second chance opportunities to get it to fall. It felt like a lot more turnovers for Johnston. We don't have it broken down by quarter, but it felt like a lot more turnovers for for Southeast Polk as the game went on. Both teams have 8 turnovers, but it felt like a lot of those for Johnston were probably early on, and then a lot more for Southeast Polk have happened later on throughout the course of the first half.
And you could make a case that maybe there's been, some more pressure from Johnston, and maybe that's part of their turnover battles here. Andy Pollock. That's Andy Pollock. I'm Paul Yeager. We're on camera here now. This is the TV side of things. This is interesting. When I was also looking right before we came back online, Balsley, Riley, and Hampton all have 2 fouls. Not saying that's going to be an issue, but it could be something to watch. However, Johnson has such a great bench, it might not be anything at all.
They come at you with a lot of depth, and they keep coming at you with more and more players throughout the course of a game. They come at you at a different tempo than everybody else comes at you with, and they showed it really throughout this first half.
You'll have a number of games this week. I have a couple in 2A. Allie Ruffridge and I will have games on Wednesday, and then
She's been here before.
She's been here before, but we're going to give her a chance at broadcasting. Pretty excited, and then you'll see her on the finals Friday night on Iowa PBS, and I'll also be there with you as well. We'll take a break and the third quarter when we come back.
Obsessively, relentlessly at your service. To me, it means being there 24/7. Rain or shine, during storms, after storms.
Being a first responder to the community, to my customers.
Being there to get the customers back on and to see the smiles on their face.
To provide the kind of reliability that we can hold our heads high about.
And we want to keep our customers safe. Safety's first around here.
And that's rewarding.
Slade's the place for you!
Living your best life means something different to everyone, especially when it comes to healthcare. That's why Mercy One offers compassionate, personalized care. We are here for you with one team of experts, providing access to the primary care and highly rated specialty care you need, easily and conveniently. So go ahead, live your best life. We're with you every step of the way. Mercy One, your best life, our one purpose.
"16 minutes of basketball left to go in this half. Johnston and Southeast Polk, they'll play the winner of Waterloo West and Ankeny Centennial. That game's set to tip at 11:45, followed by Pleasant Valley and West Des Moines Valley. Then Dowling Catholic and Davenport North close out Class 5A. It's pretty exciting games. You have two out of eastern Iowa with Pleasant Valley and Davenport North, and then the rest, except for Waterloo West, from central Iowa. So we are represented around the state as Polk comes out early on the three. Daly tries to tip the missed three, and it goes right into the hands of Johnston.
It sure seems like Pleasant Valley's been a team that's been on a run in a lot of sports. You see them at everything right now in girls' sports at the state tournament level.
Soccer, softball, volleyball, basketball, as Aaliyah Riley goes to work here for two.
Well, they got a good matchup as they had Aaliyah Riley posted up down there on Mitchell.
And now we have a little bit. We're going to have a conference.
Not sure what's going on.
As the two teams are sent to their bench, Will Dotson calls Chris Lynch and Chris Thomas together as they discuss. And it's a 30-second timeout called by Polk. I guess I missed that they'd actually called the timeout.
I'm not sure when it was called.
I think that's part of what Chad Gillick is concerned about, is he didn't know when it was called.
Was there a steal? I had looked down. Was there a steal that happened? And they said that it happened before that took place. I guess I didn't quite see how things transpired.
I think that is what happened. I looked down to write down the points, and then all of a sudden I heard some screaming.
Can't look away,
I guess. So now we'll have the timeout because the official had sent the teams to their benches while they sort things out. Now we have the 30-second timeout. Okay, Andy, if you're Johnston, you have a lead. What did you talk about at half?
Johnston, one of the best three-point shooting teams in the state, did everything in the first half at the bucket. They were 1 for 8 shooting threes. If those percentages hold, it's going to be really tough for Southeast Polk to get back in this game in the second half, because I always believe those percentages will catch up, and if they do, it's going to be very tough sledding for the Rams in the second half.
If you're the Rams, what'd you talk about?
Starts with getting a stop, and they were not able to do that in the first possession. Probably need to help some more. I mean, maybe condense things more until Johnston proves that they will hit a three-point shot in this game.
In football, you can't quite make as many adjustments at half. Can you make more adjustments in basketball at half?
I think, John, in basketball, you can make more adjustments throughout the course of a game very easily. Especially with the personnel groupings that you end up moving in and out of the game. It all depends on who's on the floor at a given time in basketball.
I think you and I have talked over the years as you coach football about, that whole halftime adjustment thing it's not big. It's hard to do.
It's more about the coaches and what play calls you're going to make in the second half as it is communicating a whole lot of stuff to the players.
Solseth, and that's going to be a Daly. She is going to be charged for the foul there on the screen.
It's a tough call. It's on the weave, and Daly ends up as she hands the ball off. The contact is made. It has to be called. It's just a tough position for Brooklyn Daly to be in.
She knew it. Johnston now with the basketball. A minute into this third quarter, up 13. Lewis, cross court. Nelk, three. Good.
As we said, those three-point shooting statistics hold. It's going to be tough to stop them.
Mitchell's shot is short. And now she'll hear about it.
Trying to shoot over the long arms of Jenica Lewis. Very difficult.
Rough start for Southeast Polk here in this third quarter.
Couple good looks, right, for the Dragons, and they capitalize. Good anticipation there by Daly.
Daly picks the pocket and has it knocked away by Lewis, who, if that does not exhibit what type of a competitor she is, I don't know what else it is.
Well, Lewis did a great job of just not making contact, right? Just reached in and just made enough contact with the basketball. I think Daly thought she had an uncontested layup. I think was a big part of it.
Oh, they're going to call a foul.
There was a foul call.
They are going to call a foul. Okay. At least I thought he did.
Or are they discussing what's on the shot clock right now?
Oh, that's what it is.
There it is.
31, because I'm like, there's no 31. So no foul. There we go. Shot clock goes to 31.
As close as we are to the action, we're also a long ways from the action on the opposite side of the scorer's bench.
Charleston, who's been really held in check tonight. Had a hard time getting an open look. It's been a lot of Bartlett. Now she pulls up her dribble, needs some help. Daly drives in, pushes in, and that shot won't fall. And then Bartlett is going to be a foul. Bartlett's going to be called there. I was looking to see initially if they were going to say it was a held ball. But good rip away. Oh, right into the face of Bartlett. She's holding her.
Still is right now. The teeth, looking at her own teeth.
And Tracy Daly's still kind of like, I just watched that replay. I'm not sure what you saw. Now we're going to have an offensive foul on Eiley Tankey on the screen.
Tankey, it looked like just kind of stumbled a little bit as the ball came around her and, again, get caught in a tough position.
(39-23). This second half just doesn't quite have the same flow that the first half.
Well, Johnston has kind of turned it more into a half-court game, and then they've been able to capitalize, so are extending their lead.
Hinsey, who's into the ball game, goes for the backdoor cut on Charleston. Saved for a moment, and then Riley is fouled. No, since she stepped on the line.
One of those situations nearly led to a run out for Johnston. Not every ball has to be saved, and when she saved that ball in, it nearly led to a layup situation for the Dragons. Good help over on the sideline.
Shot clock is reset, and boy, Bartlett is still grabbing at her lip just to make sure there's no blood from her face.
You weren't kidding about the flow, though, of the second half. There has been none right now. Just,
you know, you could get a sense, when you talk about, you were just saying how we're close to the action, you can just feel, I don't know what it is. But you're right, it is a half-court set. And maybe it's just because Polk hasn't hit a couple of buckets to get them into a rhythm. Bartlett drives, and she is fouled. And I think that's actually what it is, Andy. There's been a lot more contact and aggressively attacking the basket as we get a foul. Lewis is called for the foul.
Southeast Polk going to need more than free throws right now. It's just so hard to come back on Johnston. They've got great ball handlers. They shoot the ball so well. Got to capitalize on these free throw opportunities as well.
Mitchell back into the game, which makes that a substitution. And all of our substitutions today are brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. Free throw is hit. Lewis, she's taken that shot from that far. Crossover, now Riley. Fakes out to Hampton, drives, gets around the basket, scores, and she'll get the and one. Are you kidding me? The move she has to the basket, Andy.
It's so slippery. Honestly, that's the best way to describe it. Watch as she comes around the corner here. Kind of lulls everybody in and then boom, right around and just willing it over the top of the basket to get it to fall.
And it wasn't that Bartlett gave up on it. Riley hits it for the three-point play. She now has 9.
Riley with 9, Tankey with 8, Hampton with 10. We said in the pregame, just some very balanced scoring from Johnston.
Daly drives and scores.
They're probably going to allow that to happen right now, to take away the three-point shot, just isolate everything, keep it down low on defense, just go 1-on-1, 1-on-1. Not have anybody help.
Riley's shot is blocked by Daly. Hinsey clears it. Goes down low, Daly backdoor. Back out, 3. Charleston. Long. Tankey, the rebound, ripped in. And it's going to be a held ball, which will go back to Johnston.
the strength of Tanky, though. As J.C. Mitchell just reached in, got her hands on the ball, Tanky literally just pulled the ball away and chucked Mitchell with it. I mean, it is a held ball. There's no foul on that, but wow, just the strength to do that.
Mitchell known more as her three-point shooting. Playing aggressive defense right there. Hampton, who was hot in that first quarter and held in check since, gets the basketball. Drop down, kick out.
Ooh, yep.
Double or travel.
That little hop as the ball got tipped away. Maybe an argument to be made that she didn't have possession of the ball there, but just enough of a hop.
You know, we talked about Mitchell and, you know, her solid from three, but really Coach Daly loves her for her defense. She says normally she guards the best guard on the opponent's team. You just need any defense right now. If you're Southeast Polk, they get it on the turnover, trying to cut into this lead under 4 to play. Three-pointer rattles around for Hinsey, no good. But the Rams get the offensive rebound. Hinsey in on Tanky. Fadeaway, blocked. Ball's held. Yes, held.
Really like the fight in Alyssa Bartlett. Really enjoying watching her fly around the court.
And Bartlett's called the floor general scrappy and tough. Don't you love a player that's scrappy and tough? S&T.
And talented. Add them all together. That's why you're playing here on the last week of the basketball season.
Charleston inside. Pulls up her dribble. 3 pull-up is going to be off the mark. A little short there by Bartlett. Bartlett had a high against Waukee Northwest this year. 28 points, 15 boards. Tonight, 5 points.
Her hustle has created a few different things on the offensive end of the floor. She's done some great things on defense, but yeah, the points just in general for Southeast Polk tonight have been, say tonight, I guess it's probably about 11 in the morning.
You started it, and I just kept going because it just feels, you know, you call all those games at night, Andy, and it's hard to get it here in the morning. But, you know, that's actually something that Coach Daly and the Rams, Southeast Polk hosted a show choir competition. They needed the gym as Eiley Tanky hits the 3. Coach Daly had the girls come in before the competition because partly that's when the gym was open and partly because they had to get used to playing and being ready to go at 10 a.m.
It's a good point. You know, coaches, sometimes we overthink things, but definitely when you change the time that you're playing the game so much, it's definitely a valid concern. High school kids to get up and get doing something in the morning, not the easiest thing in the world to accomplish.
The only thing worse would be is if these were middle schoolers. Riley, what a move again! She's a human highlight reel in this game.
So much fun to watch Aaliyah Riley go to work.
Wide open Mitchell, top. Almost knocked that down, couldn't coax it down. Getting back behind Emma Hampton, catches and scores. Timeout on the court. Southeast Polk. They will take a full break here at the 2:24 mark as the lead opens up to 21 points. Back in a moment.
Obsessively, relentlessly at your service. To me, it means being there 24/7, rain or shine, during storms, after storms.
Being a first responder to the community, to my customers.
Being there to get the customers back on and to see the smiles on their face.
To provide the kind of reliability that we can hold our heads high about.
And we want to keep our customers safe. Safety's first around here.
And that's rewarding.
This is the home of the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament, presented by Iowa Farm Bureau. You're watching the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. You're seeing the Johnston fans, Andy Pollock, who have had a lot to cheer about in this game. The Southeast Polk bands trying to play their team back into this one. You're down 21 with 2:24. You're going to need a little bit more than a stop here.
You just have to play it one possession at a time. But you look at what the score was at halftime. Johnston at the half had 34 points. They've scored 15 points here in the second half, and Southeast Polk's only scored 5 to start the second half. So as Johnston, as a team that we was ranked in the ESPN National Top 25 throughout a good portion of the season, really flexing their muscle back here at Wells Fargo Arena.
Aiming for their 3rd title game in 4 years. They've actually won 8 straight against Southeast Polk, dating back to 2018. 2018, these players were all in middle school watching the game because both of their teams had varsities that were really good at that point as Lewis alters the shot by Charleston for a miss, and up ahead come the Dragons. Oh, they were trying to find Balsley, who slipped behind. Daly blocks it and then keeps it. Oh, good transition vision right there, as just too much to handle for Zoe Hinsey.
Just get you playing at a little bit different tempo than you want to play with.
Oh, that's part of that flow. It feels like a little more flow now, but it has been all flowing smoothly for Johnston.
Fans for the next game starting to work their way in here as well.
3 on the way, no good by Kinnitz, and a rebound by Bartlett for Southeast Polk.
Got a couple coaches in this game who have been around for a long time, but that doesn't even hold a candle to how long the coaches in the next game have been around for.
Oh, trying to go backdoor to Bartlett. Now Hinsey dribbles down on Balsley. Stuck with it, cutting Charleston. The reverse layup, no good because it's blocked by Lewis. It's going to go off Lewis. Tony Pappas, Dr. Tony Pappas, more than 40 years of coaching. Scott DeYoung, more than 40 years of coaching. 2 of the guys left coaching that were on the bench for a 6-player game. Thought we'd see the end of that, but here these 2 are back again with great teams again this year. Centennial and Waterloo West. 3, no, by Charleston.
That's scheduled to be, 11:45 tip-off there after this one?
Nice drive by Kinnitz, and it goes. And now everybody who has played has scored for Johnston. Trying to cut for Bartlett. Hit her awkwardly. Mitchell's 3 is good.
Good quick release there by Mitchell. Not enough time to get the defender's hand in her face too much.
She now has 9, and they're all 3. Loose ball is kept. And then Mitchell is going to be called for the foul here up on Kinnitz right at midcourt.
Tough call on Mitchell right in front of us, as you see. He's trying to make something happen. End up grabbing onto the arm.
.7 seconds to go before the end of the third quarter. 20-point advantage for the Dragons. And Johnson is going to be content with playing for a shot and take this clock all the way down. Balsley, the high pick out. 3, Blanchard, good. Holy cow. No shot, that will not count. Executed to perfection go the Dragons. They open up their biggest lead of the game, 23 points as we go to quarter 4.
Across Iowa, you don't have to look far to find a bank that's got your back. From just around the corner to the next town over, hundreds of neighborhood banks are going the distance to ensure your future looks brighter than ever. By providing jobs, supporting local businesses, strengthening communities, and helping your dreams become reality. Here, the life you build is backed by Iowa banks. See how banks are making a difference near you at iowabankers.com.
The Iowa Bankers Association is the proud sponsor of the Parade of Champions and the Iowa Student Achievement Award as we start quarter number 4 here courtside from the 2023 Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Basketball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau here on the digital network from Mid-American Energy. Right away, three-pointer on the way, Eiley Tanky.
Talked about at the break about how if the percentages hold for Johnston, it's going to be really tough for Southeast Polk to get back in this game. They're 4 for 5 now, shooting the three in the second half. It's got them right back to their season average.
Now Mitchell. She had a three late in the third quarter. Daly has been trying to do a lot. Charleston still trying to find her stroke. Mitchell, now Solseth drives, puts it up high off the glass, no good. Tanky tips it around over the taller players, pushes it up. Now Riley, 3-on-2. Leaves it for Hampton in transition, blocked. Oh! Charleston thought she had that clean, so did the Southeast Polk fans behind us.
We may have to take a moment, though, to appreciate the pass that Aaliyah Riley just made to Hampton. Wow. Extends her arms around the defender and gives that little backhanded bounce pass. That's one thing these Johnston guards, Lewis, Riley, a lot of girls can score, but not everybody can create opportunities for their teammates like these two have done.
Free throws are good by Hampton. Daly, three, no. Tanky clears. She's made more of a presence in that lane as Riley goes to the court, and the officials say she was helped.
Looks like she got tripped up with the legs of Alyssa Bartlett. What was that we were saying about flow?
Yeah. It goes in spurts, right?
The first half seemed to just great flow to it, but so many little things here happening in the second half.
Inside, Tanky is fouled.
Great recognition, though. They get Tanky defended by the much shorter Zoe Hins. Hins at 5'5", Tanky at 5'11". Got her posted up. Only thing she can do is foul her.
As the free throw is good by Tanky. Do you think Eiley, last year I think of, the makeup of, three starters off of last year's state championship team, and Johnston didn't even bat an eye. Eiley, Tanky, and Riley are back. Nelk, her first year of starting. Lewis is a freshman. Emma Hampton played a lot, but, you think of the Jada Jimfy, and you think of Zoe Buchan was on this team last year, and, we talked about the reloading that has happened, but also the players that are coming in that play regular minutes have had a lot of minutes, especially on this floor.
What makes them special, though, right now is as you look around, they've got a perfect blend. They've got the post presence with Tanky down there, and then you add in the fact that you have Emma Hampton today adds, 12 points, 13 points that she's got, so both your inside presence to do that, but then the special guard play that they've got on top of it, just so tough to even compete with Johnston.
Three is long. Tanky gets it after Polk put on a little pressure. Hampton gets behind, puts it up and scores. I now have Hampton for 15, Andy, and that's what the board has. She has been dynamite in the first and now fourth quarter.
Started off with the first 6 points of the game for Johnston. She had layups down there. They were so concentrated on everybody else. She's the fourth leading scorer on this Johnston squad.
Bartlett does a great job, textbook getting her hand in the passing lane. And now she'll finish on the assist to Hins.
This is where with Johnston, not a team that wants to spend a whole lot of time pressing. Now that you do it, you just hope you don't give up a whole lot of easy fast break layups.
But in a way, 30-second timeout called. For Johnston, that's kind of good because it's easy to go on cruise control when you're up more than 20 in the fourth quarter. To have all of a sudden a team throw up kind of a curveball at you, there's a lot you talk about the adjustments that made. The girls have to recognize, oh, that's right, they're going to press us now. What do we do?
if I remember right, Waterloo West, they will spend some time pressing as well. So I think you're looking at two teams in the next game, whoever Johnston will play, assuming right now that Johnston with a 28-point lead can hold on here, but the two teams that they will play next will also throw on quite a bit of a press. So good opportunity, play again in 3-4 days. So in the game that I know I'm calling, I don't know if you are or not, the 5A first semifinal. Not sure if we're together on that.
I think that's you and someone else. That's not me.
I believe I'm with Hunter on that one.
Yes, Hunter Phillips. Again, pressure from the Rams into the corner. Nelk for 3. Good!
That's the tough part about the press. You're not normally a pressing team. You got to get back and identify the shooters right away, and not able to do it. Nelk drops it through, and it feels like she's been quiet today. She's got 8, which is not too far off her average.
Bartlett goes up. Shot is missed. Now it's back and forth with Williams down low doing some dirty work. Daly cuts through, lays it up and good.
One of the last chances we'll have here to watch Brooklyn Daly. Can't say in Des Moines, we'll just say in playing high school basketball, as she will play at Drake.
Step back 3 from Lewis. That's only her 6th point, but it just feels like she's done so much more, like that steal. 1-on-1, and she'll have a chance at free throws as she hits the deck hard from Hins on the contact.
Good sportsmanship there from Hins, quick to help her up. It looked, initially there's a quick wince from Jenica on the floor.
Okay,
you got a little nervous. I saw it as well, yeah, but Hins quickly there to help her up. Johnston 6 for 7. Shooting 3-pointers in the second half, now up to almost 50%. That's an incredible number for the game after being only 1 of 8 in the first half.
Coach Gillick said he was really proud of the way these girls have stepped up on their focus. And I guess when you can shoot the ball as well, that to me says that you've sharpened that focus. Lewis hits it again. So now we'll see Blanchard come back in.
Johnston has brought in a lot of extra bodies here.
4:30 to play. All Johnston as they put up 70. Brooklyn Daly drives and scores.
Into double digits for Brooklyn.
Johnston averages 67 points. Nice back cut to Kinnitz, and she kicks it to the corner.
That's one of the few times that Johnston hasn't been on the same page on a back cut today. It's a thing of beauty to watch their offense click.
This team for Johnston is actually scoring less than they did last year in a per-game basis. Hard to believe, but the results, they'll just take W's. That one loss against Dowling, it was kind of a game the Maroons had them pretty much the whole time. Johnston made it very close down the stretch.
Dowling's a team that's playing really well. That was one of the early wins in a streak of, I believe they're up to 15 in a row right now that Dowling's had. They've got some pieces that, talking to a few people around, that's another team that wouldn't surprise anybody if they were to make a run here in the state tournament. Ava Zedeker, future Division I basketball
she can
player
pick wherever
there.
she wants to go, yep.
Super athletic.
Solseth, good rebound. Nice cut. There's 2 for Charleston.
Charleston's been one of those really good scorers that Johnston has been all over all day long. Really tough for her to get many shots off.
Stolen away by Charleston again. She's got Balsley on defense, which is, yeah, that is exactly what Isabella does. Runs the point now in transition. The 3 is off the mark as we have a new Johnston player. That's Portland Jackson who took that 3. And now with it is Avery Ryan. And we're about to have wholesale changes for Southeast Polk at the next horn. Kinseth. 3 from Blanchard's no good. Bartlett up ahead. Daly for 3. Good! Daly is not going to want to come out of this game right now. But she is, as the hugs come for the Southeast Polk seniors, as they know this is the end of the road for them. There is a look at mother-daughter hug. Brooklyn and Tracy Daly.
Didn't see that all of a sudden. Flipping cheerleader that goes right by us. Pretty close. Didn't see that coming out of the corner of my eye.
That never gets easy to see.
Not a bit.
The hugs.
Yep, there's some great things that we see here at the state tournaments, all the different sports that we call, Paul. But yeah, when you see girls ending their careers, that's really tough. Really tough.
It really is an opportunity to happen in a basketball game that doesn't quite happen in volleyball or softball.
Something that you and I we're about to have a couple seniors in our households next year. That's something that would. Maybe not the right time to bring that up to you right now with a microphone in front. Yeah, just got dusty in here.
I already get teary when I see, you see Brooklyn Daly and you're like, I remember her as a freshman.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
there's a lot of these girls right now with having a daughter this age that I've watched them grow up playing the sport. So I remember watching them in third grade. I see a player like Anna Van Kooten for Southeast Polk. I remember watching her just dominate down at now I can't think of the facility in Ankeny, but yeah, Southeast Polk would bring teams over and they would just dominate. These are a lot of those players that were on that team.
And now they're getting a chance to play, and then let's see if we can get everybody in. For Southeast Polk, Kylie Soliski, Morgan Reese. That is Olivia Toohey. To Soliski, backdoor cut and one! Kylie makes her dad, Kurt, kind of happy.
One thing that's been fun to watch with both these teams is the backdoor cuts. The basketball IQ is really good, and then what even makes me smile even more is when they complete that, but then the defense knows how to adjust, and they rotate, and then they take it away. It's just been really, really fun to see the high basketball IQ of both these squads.
Soliski's shot is good. 70-46 with 1:50 to play. Sydney Pullman. Ruby Pullman. That's Sydney Hodges trying to get it inside there to Ava Helming, and it's denied. And it'll be Morgan Reese for Polk, who lost control. Sorry, Morgan. Also Maddie Manus. And coming in is Margaret Johnson. And going out is Jaden Woods. So the freshman had a moment on, and now Woods comes in.
Good opportunity for some other players to have a chance to play out here on the big court.
Hodges.
Which is a thing in basketball that you don't necessarily see in other sports as well, when you can get everybody an opportunity to get in the game.
Helming.
Basketball with a defined ending in time, unlike volleyball and baseball, where you have to finish that out.
Reese, nice pass, just a little too far though. And we'll have foul. We will have a foul. Maddie Manus. I think will be whistled. Oh no, they're going to actually call Margaret Johnson for the foul. Final minute to play, 70-46 Johnston. They'll move on and play the semifinal game, which will be Thursday at 10 a.m. So Coach Chad Gillick will have to get the girls up again early, and they'll play whenever.
Yeah,
that
I think
they're
right
assigned.
at this point,
At this point in the season, you play
midnight,
whenever.
3 in the morning, whatever it takes. I would say maybe a 5 or 6 o'clock game might be tough to get. An AM might have some difficulty. These girls play a lot of basketball. I'm sure it's been done at some team camps, some off-season tournaments.
Soliski. Now Johnson. Yeah, and some of those tip-off tournaments, too. I think Columbia, Missouri has had one in the past where it's a 24-hour tournament. Nice cut and score. Margaret Johnson.
Really like the look from Reese, too. The pass.
Sydney Pullman is tied up top, and knocked away. Margaret Johnson, the sophomore, has it still rolling around. 5 seconds. 3, 2, and that is going to be the end. Johnston moves on with a 70-48 quarterfinal win here from the state tournament. Andy, the Dragons led from beginning to end, dominated. At times of this game, looked like a team destined for the state final. Would you concur?
Well, they defend really well, but once they started shooting in the second half, the first half, honestly, you felt like Johnston was in control, but not really like flexing their muscle yet. They came out immediately in that third quarter and really flexed their muscle. Showed why a lot of people thought at the beginning of the year that they would be repeating here.
We will have a couple of ceremonial things right now.
Attention to the court for the awards presentation. In addition to receiving medallions, each participating player will receive a commemorative basketball provided by the Iowa Farm Bureau, proud title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Presenting awards from the IGHSAU are Gene Berger and Gary Ross. Congratulations, head coach Tracy Daly and the Rams from Southeast Polk on an outstanding basketball season. And now, Molly Nelk will advance their team to the next round in the official bracket at center court. Johnston fans, your team advances to the 5A semifinals and will play the winner of Waterloo West and Centennial on Thursday at 10 a.m. We'll see you then. Fans, on behalf of the
Tim Fitzpatrick took my line. This game, the semifinal, will be at 10 a.m. All right, Andy, as we quickly wrap things up here, it was a real balanced approach. You talked about it a number of times. Eiley Tankey, though, just did a lot of scoring. Aaliyah Riley did a lot of driving. And Emma Hampton did a lot of scoring.
They just come at you with all sorts of weapons, all different ways they can do it, inside, outside. Their defense is tough. Johnston showing early on that they're going to be a favorite in this tournament.
Polk finishes the year 15-8. Great run to get back to the state tournament. Tough ending for a couple of their seniors. But they absolutely played until the final bell.
And after a really quick start, just not able to keep up, up and down the floor with Johnston there. One thing real quick from the end, I love that. Then the state's done that for years, allowing the girls to go up, advance themselves in the bracket. I don't know if you saw in the first girls wrestling tournament a couple weeks ago, they let them write in their names as they advanced everybody through the bracket. Really cool. I love everything about this tournament.
Well, if you're watching and you're going to be a player or coach here, look for your name in the hallways. There's been a whole lot of dressing up done, little new wrinkles, as Centennial and Waterloo West will take the court next at 11:45. So all of us here on the digital network presented by Mid-American Energy. Andy, good to work with you again.
It's been a while.
It has.
Good to be back.
All right. You will have some work yet this afternoon. We have another game coming up for all of us here. Thank you for watching. Johnston advances 70-48.